What the hell's going on? Jack was in a fury. He'd never been handled like this in his life. He was pinned to the floor of the vehicle by the same two men who'd grabbed him in the street, and he started to struggle, getting a hefty punch in the face and a hood put over his head. Shut the up. Jack quietened. He realised he was in a desperate situation, and he didn't know why. He licked his lips and tasted blood, the blood coming from his broken nose. He tried to make out where he was going, trying to assess places by corners turned, cobbles on the road, and hilly areas. He calculated he was nearing Leith, a place he tried to avoid at the best times. He knew it as a place ruled by gangsters. The van stopped and a door slid open. He heard footsteps and somebody opening a heavy gate. The hinges protesting from lack of oiling. Jack's heart sank. Unless he was mistaken, he was going into a scrapyard. He heard the gate close and get bolted. The van moved forward and then stopped. Out! The door of the van slid open and Jack was bundled out, falling to his knees. He was lifted, none too gently, to his feet and led through a door, the door slamming behind him. Then he was pushed into a seat. Jack Beaufort. The hood was taken off, and Jack blinked his eyes in the light, his eyes trying to adjust. Jack was in a chair facing a small, slim, balding man with a cruel face that he'd seen in the newspapers in the last week. The article was about a murder trial, and the accused, Michael Flynn, had walked free. The verdict was unproven. A verdict peculiar to the Scottish law system. Jack's terror increased tenfold. Well, well, Mr. Jack Beaufort. Jack gulped as he tried to speak, then coughed to clear his throat when no sound came. Yes? I hear you've been buying product from a competitor of mine. Flynn studied his nails and looked up. You may not have realised, but you've been a customer of mine for years. Mr. Beaufort, I consider that you buying product from a competitor of mine as an unfriendly act. He smiled at Jack. Of course, you won't be able to do that anymore. Unfortunately, Mr. White passed away last night. A tragic accident. Jack's heart was pounding, threatening to leap out of his chest. He looked round the room, cautiously trying to assess his chances of escape, trying to make a break for it. There were 3 men in the room, not including Michael Flynn. His chances were 0. I'm sorry, Mr. Flynn. That brought a smile to Flynn's face. Oh, so you recognise me. That's good. It'll make what I have to say to you easier for you to understand. He stared at Jack. I am a man of my word. My word is my bond. For instance, I warned Chalky White that there would be repercussions if he strayed out of his territory. Flynn studied his nails again. Jack was numb. Why the hell did he buy from White? It looked as though that decision was about to cost him his life. Flynn shrugged. There were repercussions. He smiled. I'm only telling you this so that you will understand. I am a man of my word. He waved to the men in the room, and two left. Jack's heart sank. Were they making preparations to kill him? His eyes narrowed. Only two in the room, and one was small. His chances of escape had improved slightly. Flynn noticed Jack's eyes wandering and he bowed to him. Mr. Beaufort! Jack was startled and looked at Flynn, who leaned forward and put his hands on the desk. I want your full attention. Sorry, Mr. Flynn. That's better. I have a proposition for you. Jack gaped at him. A proposition? That's right, Mr. Beaufort. A proposition. Because of the recent passing of Mr. White, a territory has become available. He smiled. You are a small-time pusher of my products. However, you have sold well, and this is most important. You do not take drugs yourself. A wintry smile. Plus, you do seem to have a code of conduct. I like that, Mr. Beaufort. I like a man who has a code of conduct. I like to know exactly where I stand with everybody. Jack was stunned. A drug lord making him a proposition. I propose that you take over Mr. White's territory and sell my product there. You will be free to trade with whoever you wish. Again, that smile. As long as you stay in your own territory. Jack had no idea what to say. He was dumbstruck. Thank you, Mr. Flynn, for that concession. It will cost you £50,000. Jack was about to protest, but Flynn held up his hand, stopping him from uttering a word. I will also expect to receive from you weekly 30% of your profits. I will supply the product which you'll pay for at a discount, of course. A genuine smile. In return, I will give you and your team protection. We will be partners of a sort. Remember, I am a man of my word. Jack was struggling to get his head around everything that had just happened. He'd been hijacked and beaten up by a gangster in order to be offered a job as a major supplier of drugs. Strange way to conduct business. However, business was business. £50,000? Flynn smiled. His wintry smile. Please don't tell me that you don't have that sort of money. Jack swallowed hard. He'd been about to say that very thing. Because I know you do. I calculate that you must be close to a millionaire, what with your inheritance. Shame about your mother. They say she fell down the stairs. Flynn looked at Jack shrewdly. Que sera? Now, do we have a deal? This deal will make you a very rich man, much richer than you are already. There was a silence as they both looked at each other, assessing each other's thoughts. It was Jack who broke the silence. If I can vary the deal slightly, I think we can do business. Vary? Yes. I want Harry Chester to be my front man. All dealings to be done through him. I want to remain in the background. Invisible. Jack smiled. I have ambitions in the political world. And being seen to... He shrugged. Michael Flynn beamed. Perfect. A great idea. I'll help you become a politician. I have contacts. It would be a great fit in our organisation. He stood up and offered his hand. It's a deal. I'll expect £50,000 from you tomorrow afternoon. Okay? Jack took his hand. It's a deal. Flynn purred. I do like a man with a code of conduct.